Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of The Finishing Blow. Hopefully you guys are having a good week so far. I'm sure you guys know how my week went. Since Wednesday night, I've been pretty much without the internet. Now, it is backing up and running and everything like that, but a storm came through and for whatever reason, it affected my internet over everything. Like, power worked, everything was fine, but the internet was down for a couple days and I could not do anything. So I do apologize about that. Sometimes nature just happens and you can't control what's going on. But I decided, instead of doing a review, to go ahead and do news articles to catch up for everything and to make up for the fact that I missed so many days. So we're going to go ahead and cover everything that happened over the past week, starting off with an image of Donnie Yen in Star Wars Rogue One. Now, it looks amazing. Like, it looks really, really cool. Obviously, they showed this off at the D23 convention that they had over the past weekend, and it looks really, really cool. Now, a lot of people have pointed out the fact that Donnie Yen's eyes are like a different color, so it could be that he's a certain species. More people are going with the whole, like, blind, or maybe he's got, like, some kind of special ability that allows him to see different things that we can't see with our human eyes. Who knows, but he looks really, really cool. Now, I want to enforce the fact that if it's Star Wars Rogue One, that means that there's not going to be any lightsabers. So I'm sure Donnie will be doing some kind of action or, kind of like fighting style. I just don't think there's going to be any lightsabers in it, so don't get your hopes up for that. But it is really, really cool to see him in full costume and garb, kind of in character. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with him, what his character's name is, things like that. But I'm sure they're going to keep those under wraps, at least for now. But it is very, very cool. Check out the photo and let me know what you guys think about Donnie Yen in the Star Wars universe itself. Okay, next we had some really interesting news. It wasn't really movie related, but I'm sure you guys don't mind. Tony Jaa is the father of a second daughter. Now, he announced her kind of like, I guess, appearance into the world as Mini Jaa on his Facebook page, and we really don't know anything else about her, but that's fine. That's his personal life. It's just cool to see Tony Jaa being a father. I feel like his life is kind of picking up and hitting a high point right now. Like, he's got a lot of stuff going on for him in the movie world as well as in his personal world, and that is absolutely fantastic. His wife is going to have a handful, I'm sure, with two little girls running around. But congrats to Tony, congrats to his wife, and of course congrats to Tiny Jaa for being the big sister now of Mini Jaa. It's going to be really, really cool to see them grow up and watch them grow over the years and see what they're going to do when they become adults as well. Okay, now back to news and things like that. We had the announcement that Zorro is being remade into a film called Zorro Reborn. Now, this is going to be a post-apocalyptic style film. We don't know too much about it right now, but there was a concept trailer that came out a few years ago, which seems to be pretty on point. Now, if they do continue with that idea, I feel like it will be good. But I just don't know if I'm really, like, why does it have to be a reboot? Why does it have to be Zorro? Why couldn't it just be a new hero in a new setting? Of course, that's something that I rant and rave about all the time. I'm sure that the studio wouldn't have greenlit it if it wasn't Zorro, so I understand that. But I'm really hoping that they take the idea and just kind of like make it something new and fresh. Kind of like what they did with like the Fast and Furious franchise, whether you love it or hate it, they did kind of like take that stale idea and breathe new life into it. So Zorro Reborn may or may not be good. I'm hoping that it is good. I'm hoping that the trailer shows promise and that we'll be able to see more of it in the near future. Okay, and now comes the part where I just kind of like throw all the news at you because I did all three of these articles in one day. But Samuel Goldwyn has purchased the rights to Yakuza Apocalypse, the Takashi Miike film. That is kind of quirky and kind of strange, but it has Yaya and Ruhian in it as well. So I think it's going to have some decent action, but Takashi Miike to me is very hit or miss. Some of his movies are very good. Some of them are kind of very, very strange, and I'm not quite sure how this movie's going to do. But the fact that Samuel Goldwyn has purchased the rights to it means that North America will be able to see it. They didn't put a release date on it yet, so I don't know exactly when it's coming out. Hopefully later this year, if not early next year, but I will let you guys know as soon as I find out more information about that. Okay, next piece of news was Close Range has a new poster, as well as I think the trailer's been re-released, I believe. I haven't heard like an official word, but I did see a trailer up again from like what seems to be the PR company. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to keep this one up. But the poster looks really solid. And if you haven't seen the trailer, it is very, very good. I highly recommend it. Like, this was a kind of surprise film for me. Like, I was thinking, when you see Scott Adkins and Isaac Florentine working on a film together, you think like Undisputed 4 is going to be next in line. yeah, throw this out at you, and it looks good. Like, it looks like it could be a very good action film. So this one's going to be coming out later this year, around December, if I remember correctly. So be sure to keep your eye out for that. I will let you guys know as soon as I learn more about it. Hopefully, we'll get some more Undisputed news in the future as well. But yes, Close Range looks like a very solid film, and I think you guys will enjoy it. And lastly, we had news that Philip, how do you pronounce NG? Like, I've seen that everywhere, and I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to mess it up because I'm going to be terrible at it. But Philip got his ribs cracked by Andy On, which you guys may remember. Philip and Andy were both in Once Upon a Time in Shanghai, so it's going to be a very, very interesting film. I can't find the translation for it, but again, going to be butchering things. But it looks like, according to HK Top 10, it's Chim Lung Jui Geek, I think. I don't know, but they're fighting, and there's a like warehouse or like containers, like shipping containers everywhere. But it looks like it's going to be good. Vanessa Wu, if I remember her name correctly, was saying that it's going to be an homage to like 80s action films, which doesn't surprise me because that's pretty much what Once Upon a Time in Shanghai was. So obviously Andy and Philip are giving it their all. Like, I can't imagine taking a kick from Andy like that strong and just not being ready for it. It's a dangerous thing to do, but they took it in stride, and Philip is currently like still training and everything during his like rehab session. So I'm sure they'll be coming out of the gate with their fists flying. Maybe they'll up the ante a little bit more because of that. But yes, it looks like a very good film, and I can't wait to see some of this action in action, if you guys know what I mean. But yeah, anyways, I decided not to do a review this week because there's just so much news, and I'd been off the grid for so long. I do apologize about that again. Hopefully next week won't be as eventful in my personal life, and we'll have a lot of cool news to cover, and hopefully I can do another giveaway. Still going to be doing a review next week unless something crazy happens again, but I know last week was like Police Story Lockdown. This week I didn't have one, so we're due for a brand new review. We really are. So I will be doing that in the near future. But anyways, thank you guys so much for your support throughout these crazy, crazy days that I've been having. And thank you guys so much for watching. This is K Miller, and this week has been finished.